What does it mean, shine like the sun? What is your perception or interpretation of that when you just see the title and you haven't heard anything yet? Now, back in the day, the way I would perceive it, I'd be like, damn, man, I'm gonna shine. I'm gonna be so shiny. I'm gonna be so attractive. Then I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna get all the girls. I'm gonna get all their attention. Or I'm gonna get the good job. If I was an actor, I used to think this when I was in Hollywood, when I was acting. I didn't want to go to all the auditions, and I didn't want to go through the normal protocol that you got to go through to be an actor. I didn't want to go through that with anything I did. Even when I used to box, I just wanted to fight Tyson. Like, let me train a couple months, show me how to gain weight, because I was 147 pounds, and then let me fight Tyson. I want to go to the top. If I can't go to the top immediately, I don't want to do it, you know. This is how I was with acting. So anyway, back to the shining. So I'd be shining. I thought I was going to move to LA, and I was going to be shining so strong that I'll just go for a walk, and the director's going to see me. He's going to be like, damn, that's our guy, because look how he's shining. That was my definition of shine. Now that's changed over the years, you see. You notice the sun, when it shines, it doesn't discriminate, and it doesn't have any desires. It doesn't have any personal purpose for shining. It's not shining to try to get us to worship it. No, thank you for the shine. It doesn't need any attention at all. And it shines on people who kill people. It shines on the saints. It shines on everybody in between. This is what I mean when I say shine like the sun. Now, you don't just practice semen retention and start shining like the sun in that way. What this is pointing to is the spiritual aspect of semen retention, which is, that's the main thing. And I keep saying that. It's the main thing. You know, true brahmachari. That's what semen retention is. I expand on the normal aesthetic term brahmachari, because normally that means that you're not married, you don't have children, you don't touch a girl, you don't do anything. That's a more aesthetic definition of brahmachari. I'm more about the tantric definition of brahmachari, which is you can do all that, have a kid, you can have sex, you can be married, but there's not lust. There's not lust in your motives for talking to a girl or having sex with her. You see, it's tantric brahmachari. So, how does semen retention help our spiritual unfolding or transformation? Because we have energy. This is the real reason to preserve the energy, so that we have energy for this spiritual transformation. It's not for worldly accolades and going deeper into, human identity or ego identity. That's not the purpose. It's cool. It can start out like that, and normally it does if you're younger. It did for me too. That's okay. I'm just telling you what happens later. See, the ego or the mind, it can take any good thing you're doing, semen retention, spiritual practice, meditation, whatever, eating clean, eating good. It can hijack all that stuff and use it for its own purpose. It's going to say, yeah, I'm going to get really healthy and really balanced, and then I'm going to dedicate my life and energy to like edging, meaning trying to get as much women attraction as possible, or going to be like famous somewhere. This is what ego wants to do. It wants to be famous. Wants 1 million views. It's all about numbers. It's all about, it wants to be exclusive. It wants to buy a Lamborghini because nobody has one. Although now you can rent them in America, so it's not so exclusive anymore. But it's still exclusive. But get a Lamborghini and then go and drive it in India. Yeah, you want some attention? That's what you do. You'll get more attention than any Hollywood star who's walking around Beverly Hills or LA. If you go to India with your Lamborghini. Damn, why didn't I think of that back in the day? Well, I couldn't afford it. I didn't have $1 million, but I'm just saying. The ego wants to take everything that you do, whether it be positive or not, and use it for its own purpose. Same thing with semen retention. I mean, look at all the videos, what they talk about. Not all, but a lot. They talk about using semen retention for a very material level. That's automatic. Like, don't settle for breadcrumbs. Like, if you're doing semen retention, you're preserving your energy. Yeah, you're going to get a girl. Yeah, you're going to get a good one. Yeah, you're going to get attract a job that's actually worthy of your value because you have value now. All that's automatic. That's a byproduct. Like, don't focus on that. It's like going to one of these $500 5-star dinners, and you're just focusing on like the dessert or the one meal. Usually they bring out 6, 7 different plates or something, and you're just focusing on one plate. No, take the whole thing. Take the whole thing. The main thing is the spiritual, your spiritual awakening, you can say. Go see my other channel, Spiritual Renaissance. By the way, a brother, he made this Discord group for you guys. So it's brand new. We just made it, but he made it. I don't know anything about this stuff. And so you can go there with your questions. You can be in a community that's on a similar frequency because you'll be coming from this channel. So you're going to be vibing on a similar frequency. Ask your questions and have some dialogue with other people, because there's all levels on this channel. I see the comments. There's some who are just starting, and there's some who are really seasoned. You guys want an opportunity to serve and help. This is why the Discord group is made, because I can't really field all these questions I get. I give a short answer as best as I can, and then other than that, So I'm going to put the link on my channel about section. Just go to the about section, then you'll see the links, so you can click on that. A good definition or a good Google this prayer, St. Francis prayer, and you read that, memorize it, it's best, and you recite it as often as you can. This is a man that's realized his spiritual nature. Powerful prayer. He says, basically it's about self-forgetting, ego forgetting. Let me forget this ego human self. That's his prayer. For example, he says, God, help me to understand people rather than be understood. Everybody wants to be understood. Why don't you understand me? Why do they disrespect me? Disrespect me, man. I know MMA. See? Everybody got to respect me. That's ego. That's mine. He's saying, he's flipping everything. Kind of like Jesus in the Bible where he says, turn the other cheek. That's not to be taken literal. If you're out with your family and somebody hits you or hits your wife, you guys aren't going to turn the other cheek. It just means, like, don't be so quick to identify with your ego. Realize where your power's at. Instead of focusing so much on people respecting you, you respect them and watch what the universe does. This is the secret. But it's really difficult because people's habits and ego fights that. See, it's going to fight that. So the St. Francis says things like, understand rather than be understood. Let me love instead of be loved. Don't try to find the love, who's going to love me. No, you get in touch with your true nature, and you start to love people. It's not the people you're loving, though. It's the spirit in them. You recognize the spirit in you. You start to see the spirit in them. It's automatic. Now, are you going to just walk around? See, then the mind will paint crazy pictures. It's like, I'm supposed to walk outside and I just feel this love for everybody. No, it doesn't. It's not like that. What's it like? You can't explain what it's like. You still can feel like this person, okay, they want something from me, they want to use me, they want to manipulate me. So you don't hate them, but you don't just give them a big hug, oh, I just love you. No, you just kind of stay away from them. You have wisdom. Wisdom goes along with these principles. What else does he say? Understand rather than be understood. Let me love rather than to be loved. Let me bring hope where there's despair. It's basically just killing selfishness. So, semen retention, because you have energy, it's not just semen retention. Like, why is semen retention so powerful? Because you have energy. It's one of the strongest, most powerful ways you can accumulate energy, the sexual energy. So now you have energy. Now, how you use that energy, that's an evolutionary thing. You have to mature to the point to where you realize waking up your spiritual nature is the highest thing. How do you recognize that's the highest thing? By using it for the lower things for a while. And then you find, like, that doesn't satisfy me. Making $1 million, it felt good, but now what? It doesn't satisfy me. I feel more empty. Got the really good girl. I'm in public. People recognize me. I'm getting the fame, whatever that means. But you know what? It's still not working. What is not working? I'm still like not totally content and satiated. So then, this is why Osho says rich people have the best opportunity to realize their true nature, because they've already done everything. They've done everything, and they have enough money they can buy whatever they want that the world has to offer. And so they did, and they realized, like, whoa, I'm still empty as hell. You ever see these hidden cameras in some of these parties, these rich people parties? They're crazy as hell. They're crazy. They're insane. They're just crazy sex outside. People are coming, and they want the hotel staff to see them having sex. This is what happens at these swinger parties too. They're all vampires looking for dopamine, but they've had so much dopamine stimulation that it's like they're not even sensitive anymore. You gotta like do some radical stuff to even get a hit. I remember there was a gay guy sharing that the only way he could actually get stimulated anymore is to have a guy hold the gun to his head and rape him, basically. And then there was a girl once who would walk into bad neighborhoods with no underwear and a skirt. So then she was hoping that she would get raped in a way, but not get hurt too much. You see, because that's the only way that she could get get dopamine. It was the only way. I mean, forget normal sex. Like, that's like, no. We need to amp this up. We need to like it's boring. Who just wants to hold each other and kiss? No. Put a gun on me. Get me going. This is what it was. Just funny because the universe worked it out to where I was talking about this, how the girl wanted, what I just shared, and then a girl's walking by with her dogs. I'm like, damn, I'm in the flow, so I can't. What am I going to do? So I try to talk a little low. I don't think she heard it, but it's a little funny, So you gotta find this your spiritual nature. You gotta let that will satiate you. That will give the final satiation. But and then ironically, it's free. You don't have to like cultivate or be creative to figure out how to do that, because this software is already downloaded. We have to create the right conducive inner environment so that this software programs start to run. And isn't that a good deal? It's free, but it's not cheap. You see, you got to fight for this a little bit, because the habits and external life and conditioning and what everybody thinks, it's all the opposite for the most part. Even your spiritual teachers and semen retention people, their motive still is still housed in the ego structure. Just feel, you can tell, you know, some of you guys know. So this game that we're in is no joke. It's for heavyweights. It's real heavyweight stuff, man. This is why Khabib, I was gonna say the spiritual heavyweight would destroy like the best boxing champion or MMA champion. It's a different kind of strength. But then I was thinking, I was gonna talk about Khabib. You guys know Khabib. You know why he was so good and he won? Because he's deep into Muslim religion, deep. His spiritual aspects were totally flourishing. And then you look at McGregor, who's kind of just lost. McGregor had skills, but he would get his dark side was still dominating. There's no match. Khabib tore him up. But then still Khabib's human side kind of came out at the end, and he jumped and wanted to beat up McGregor's wrestling trainer. He was just full on, man. Imagine how much energy's pumping through you, So that's cool. Spiritual being, sometimes the human aspect comes out. Forgive yourself. Hold space for yourself. Then you'll be able to do that for others. You won't judge others. If you see me, do something that's not spiritual, you'd be like, oh yeah, I understand. He's human. You don't put people on pedestals. There's always, we can reach higher and higher and higher states of consciousness. There's no one and you're done enlightenment. Not as long as we have a body. It doesn't exist. But now I'm getting into the spiritual channel. Go see my spiritual channel. You can just type Spiritual Renaissance in the search box, because for some reason it's not letting me put the links now. The YouTube's a little funny sometimes, Sometimes it deletes your guys' comments. I can't see them. Another thing, when I respond to your comment, if you respond back to me, I probably won't see it. You need to leave a new comment, because I can't. It's too much. I can't figure out, So leave a fresh comment. If you have an important question, go see this Discord group. This is really, and God created that to help the people, because as the channel grows, I can't give the proper attention, unless you do a consult. But even that, I'm not gonna do after a while. I'm gonna have groups, but it's gonna be more about the spiritual aspect. The semen retention aspect, I'll cover in my videos, and then when you go to the Discord group, other people can help answer the questions. But I'm gonna be more focused on the spiritual aspect, because you can only focus on like so many things. It's about time and energy management. All right, this was a long video. I'll talk to you soon.